I failed so badly that I lost everything. My business collapsed. My savings vanished. My confidence shattered into a million pieces. But here's what nobody tells you about failure. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Right now, you might be sitting there thinking your past mistakes have ruined your future. You tried something and it didn't work. Maybe you failed multiple times. Maybe you're convinced you're just not cut out for success. I'm going to prove to you why that's completely wrong. Your past failures don't define your future. They prepare you for it. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why starting over isn't just possible. It's your secret weapon. Let's talk about what failure really means. Society has programmed us to see failure as the end of the road. You fail a test, you're not smart enough. You fail at a business, you're not entrepreneur material. You fail at a relationship, something must be wrong with you. But this is a massive lie that's holding millions of people back from their potential. Failure is simply data. It's information about what doesn't work. Think about it this way. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said he didn't fail. He just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That's not just a cute quote. That's a fundamental shift in how you view setbacks. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. Steve Jobs got fired from his own company. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. The difference between them and people who stay stuck isn't talent. It's perspective. Here's the first major truth about starting over. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. When you attempt something again after failing, you carry with you everything you learned from that failure. You know what mistakes to avoid. You understand which strategies don't work. You've developed resilience that people who never failed don't have. Let me give you a real example. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, credits her success to her father's dinner table question. Every night he would ask her and her brother what they failed at that day. If they had nothing to share, he'd be disappointed. He taught them that failure wasn't something to fear. It was something to pursue because it meant they were pushing boundaries. Sarah failed at everything before Spanx. She failed the law school entrance exam twice. She sold fax machines door to door for 7 years. She had an idea for footless pantyhose and got rejected by every manufacturer she pitched. But each failure taught her something crucial. The law school rejection taught her that traditional paths weren't her destiny. Selling fax machines taught her sales and resilience. The manufacturer rejections taught her to be persistent and creative. When she finally succeeded, she wasn't a lucky beginner. She was an experienced fighter who had been training through failure for years. That's what your failures are doing for you right now. They're training you for the success that's coming. Now let's address the fear that stops most people from starting over. The fear of failing again. This fear is paralyzing because it feels so rational. You think, why should I try again when I already know I might fail? Here's why. Because the only guaranteed failure is not trying at all. When you don't start over, you're choosing permanent failure over temporary setback. You're letting one chapter define your entire story. Imagine if authors stopped writing after their first bad review. If musicians quit after their first song flopped. If athletes retired after their first loss. The world would be missing most of its greatest achievements. The second major truth is this. Starting over gives you clarity that beginners never have. First-time entrepreneurs often succeed through luck or timing. But people who start over after failure? They succeed through wisdom and strategy. They know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. Consider this perspective shift. What if your past failures were actually protecting you from bigger failures? What if that business that collapsed saved you from investing 10 more years in the wrong direction? What if that relationship that ended freed you to find the right person? What if that job you lost pushed you toward your true calling? Failure often redirects us toward better paths. It closes doors that were leading nowhere and forces us to find doors we never would have looked for. This isn't just optimistic thinking. This is pattern recognition from thousands of success stories throughout history. Let's talk about the practical side of starting over. How do you actually do it? First, you need to extract the lessons from your failure. Sit down and honestly analyze what went wrong. Not to beat yourself up. To learn. Write down every mistake you made. Every warning sign you ignored. Every skill you lacked. This isn't painful. This is valuable intelligence. Second, identify what you did right. Even in failure, there are things that worked. Maybe your marketing was good but your product wasn't ready. Maybe your idea was solid but your timing was off. Maybe your effort was there but your strategy was flawed. Separate what to keep from what to change. Third, update your approach based on your lessons. You're not repeating the same attempt. You're making a smarter, more informed attempt. You're version 2.0. You're the upgraded model with bug fixes and new features. This is why starting over is actually starting ahead. Fourth, change your relationship with failure going forward. Expect it. Plan for it. Use it. The most successful people don't avoid failure. They fail faster and learn quicker than everyone else. They treat failure like scientists treat experiments. As necessary steps toward discovery. Here's something powerful to understand. Your past failures have already paid the tuition for your future success. You've invested time, money, emotion, and energy into learning what doesn't work. That education is incredibly valuable. Don't waste it by refusing to apply what you learned. Think about the alternative. What happens if you don't start over? You carry the weight of failure without ever transforming it into wisdom. You let fear make your decisions. You wonder for the rest of your life what could have been. That's not protecting yourself. That's punishing yourself. Starting over isn't admitting defeat. It's refusing to accept it. It's saying that one outcome doesn't determine all outcomes. It's choosing to write another chapter instead of closing the book. It's understanding that your story isn't over until you decide it's over. Let me share one more critical insight. The people who judge you for starting over are usually people who are too afraid to start at all. They criticize from the sidelines because they lack the courage to get in the game. Their opinions are worthless because they're based on fear, not experience. The people who matter, the ones who have actually achieved something significant, they respect the comeback. They admire the resilience. They recognize the strength it takes to get back up. Because they've been there too. Success isn't a straight line for anyone. It's a messy, winding path full of setbacks and restarts. Your past failures don't define your future because you get to define your future. Every single day, you choose what your next chapter looks like. You decide whether yesterday's loss becomes tomorrow's lesson or tomorrow's excuse. That power belongs entirely to you. So here's what I want you to understand. You can start again. Not just because it's possible, but because your failures have prepared you to succeed in ways that easy success never could. You have knowledge that people who never failed don't have. You have strength that people who never struggled can't understand. You have perspective that people who never lost can't appreciate. Your greatest achievements are still ahead of you. Your biggest wins haven't happened yet. Your most important contributions are waiting for you to show up and claim them. But none of that happens if you let your past failures convince you to stop trying. Starting over isn't going backward. It's moving forward with more wisdom, more experience, and more determination than you had before. It's taking everything that didn't work and using it as fuel for what will work. It's transforming your setbacks into your setup for something greater. The question isn't whether you can start over. The question is, what are you waiting for? Your past is finished. Your future is unwritten. And the power to begin again is in your hands right now. Don't let yesterday's failures steal tomorrow's possibilities. Start over. Start stronger. Start now.